Charlotte, and they said, we think we've got something here for him at Dover. He led a bit of this race, and running top 10 right now.
You know, talking about Bobby Labonte, this race is the Rookie of the Year. Everybody thought Jeff Gordon was just going to run away with it. This thing's tightening up now because this kid's coming along really fast here.
Derek Cope moves underneath Morgan Shepherd. Cope in the Bojangles car. Here comes Earnhardt. No, we're always saying that. Here comes Earnhardt. Never there goes Earnhardt. Here comes Earnhardt to the front.
Yeah, it seems that when he gets back in stuff like this, you know, he wants to come up there so hard. He's got to use some discipline coming up through there. It's hard to do with somebody. He wants to pass him as he comes to him. But you got a car that's strong, you're able to make a lot of things happen.
You saw Brett Bodine there after that crash into the wall. He is 17 laps down. Thought he might have lost more than that. He's only 17 laps back after making repairs. 167 laps complete here at Dover Downs. We are 1/3 distance in the Budweiser 500.
The NASCAR racing circuit. It's no place for the timid. That's why Craftsman, and only Craftsman, was chosen the official tool of NASCAR. 1,600 Craftsman hand tools, made in America, guaranteed forever. You can count on me. Only at Sears.
One oil filter traps 80% more dirt than the leading competitor. Clearly, that's Motorcraft. Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
Tire foam protectant from Armor All. One spray, and even old tires look great. Kind of makes you wish we made car foam. Tire foam from Armor All.
Imagine this is a sidewall of a tire. The whole idea is to keep the tread area in level contact with the road, or you'll lose traction, especially in cornering. Now, Goodyear has learned a lot in NASCAR racing and applied that knowledge to Eagle's street radials. In cornering, there's a lot of force trying to lift the tire, but Goodyear Eagle's racing-inspired sidewall design works to hold the tire firmly to the road. Eagle radials, only from Goodyear. We like to say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
The Nashville Network's exclusive live coverage of the Budweiser 500 is being brought to you by Goodyear, #1 in tire. TNN, the NASCAR Network, the banner said. Well, we hope you think so. Davey Allison in front of this field, but Rick Mast is running him down.
Davey had a lot bigger lead just a few laps ago. See a big piece of trash in Davey's grill. Also on Mast's car, but Mast has been gaining on him.
Rick, who has a Busch Grand National win here at Dover.
Got a good run in the Winston. Won the second leg of the Winston. Showing a lot of strength with their car lately. Got a lot of trash flying around. Got stuck on the grills, all these cars.
There's Dale Earnhardt moving up to 6th. Passing Bobby Labonte. Back up front, there's the separation from 1st to 2nd place. And that gap is closing. Let's check with Glenn Jarrett.
Well, they're keeping a close watch on the Allison car. They're clocking it. Larry McReynolds and crew chief. Larry, you guys have done a lot of work on the car. Have you got it the way you want it yet?
Well, the only thing we hadn't got is a lot of this race behind us. I can't believe we've only run 175 laps. Finally, I think the track's coming through us. We got the car better. We're just trying to weigh out who the toughest competitors back here are right now. Looks like Dale and Mark and maybe Rusty. We just keep going and see what happens. We're not a long way to go.
Is there anything else that you need to do to the car?
Well, we might still want to play with some air pressure and some wedge, but other than that, I think we're getting it pretty close.
Okay, let's go down pit road now to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Richard Jackson, you've been sneaking up on the field here over the last few races. Right now, you're sneaking up on Davey Allison. Car's running good.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of noise. I'm sorry I didn't hear you.
I just said the car's running good.
Oh, yes. Rick's giving this Stone Classic Ford a good ride today. We've run good lately, but we've had some bad luck, but I hope it holds up today.
What about the story about this race going as long as it goes? What about tire wear everything okay with you guys?
Are you talking about tire wear? Yeah, the tires are wearing extra good. We've been changing them on the pit stops, but they'll probably go 2 stops if we had to go that far. We're stopping mostly for gas.
Mike Joy?
Richard Jackson, owner of the second-place car driven by Rick Mast. Mast looking to lead his first race since Talladega in 1991. Here's Bobby Labonte at 7th place, battling Derek Cope.
I think Richard Jackson hears about as well as I do.
I tell you what, it is loud in those pits down there. You could hear just the overflow there. Where those things zoom and scream down in that corner. The guys in the pits, the biggest job they got all day long is keeping their hearing on with them.
Here in Bristol, it's very, very difficult to hear. Going to give you a Napa Field standing update. Brought to you by Napa because there are no unimportant parts. Let you know where your favorite driver has been running in the Buck 500. Let's catch up on our top 10 point runners, too. Let you know where they are. Earnhardt, of course, is the point leader. He is in 6th place. Rusty Wallace, the runner-up, is in 4th place. Dale Jarrett's 3rd in the points. He's back in 16th position. Still on the lead lap. Jeff Bodine 1 spot ahead of him in 15th. Kyle Petty 5th in the points, out of this race. Davey Allison up on the point. He came in here 6th in the point standings. 7th place point man. Ernie Irvan is in the garage. Morgan Shepherd running 8th. That's his point position. Jeff Gordon back in 33rd spot. And Kenny Schrader, 10th in the points, is 13th on the racetrack.
And there's 2nd place. There's Mark Martin in 3rd trying to get around Rick Mast. Rick was gaining on Davey, but Mark ran him down.
I don't think I ever had a car handle that well up here at Dover. Maybe that's why I didn't win as many as the rest of you guys did, but I could win at a lot of racetracks. This place, I'm going to tell you, you talk about something that's hard on the driver, this place will wear you down quicker than anywhere I ever run.
Yeah, and as much side bite as they're getting with these big corner speeds, we're going to see these drivers tested today physically. Mark trying to get it turned down up under him and get a run up off this corner. Just get the nose there because the tie goes to the guy on the inside when you get at the end of the straightaway. That's the deal where all you got to do is pass him 6 inches. He'll give you the rest of it.
While that goes on, Earnhardt moves back up onto the leaderboard. He got underneath Jimmy Hensley and moves into the top 5. 2nd place, changing hands. Mark Martin up to 2nd. Rick Mast to 3rd. There's Earnhardt. Took him a long while to get past Jimmy Hensley. Hensley once qualified Earnhardt's car during Hurricane Hugo up in Martinsville, put it on the pole. Now they're adversaries.
I'll tell you something they got to be thinking about with the 3 car. He's already dismounted a tire by running hard in the corner. And that's Earnhardt's strong suit. Drive it down in the corner and make up time getting in. It can also hurt him. He's got to be careful not to dismount another one of those tires.
That battle 6.5 seconds behind the race leader. Darrell Waltrip rolling along in 11th place. Kenny Schrader and Harry Gant. All those cars are on the lead lap. So just ahead of them is Rick Wilson.
Mike, Harry Gant had as fast a car as anybody in practice. I think in the garage area this morning there was about 4 names mentioned, and it was always Gant with a chance to win the race, and that early wreck is really hurting.
Neil, with the damage on the left front there, he has to draft the car to get the aerodynamics that he needs. You know, draft along, let him pull him along. He can't run by himself right now.
It sure hurt his chances.
Had a question why they didn't move everybody up 1 spot when Ernie Irvan had to start at the back. They rolled them out on the pace lap the way they qualify. If you can imagine trying to crisscross the field like they do on short tracks to get everybody up in the proper line. No, they just move everybody up 1 notch. Wherever somebody goes to the back, that whole row, whether it's inside or outside, and some days you benefit, some days you don't, just moves up and fills in the space. That's the rule. 188 laps complete. Davey Allison, the leader. Mark Martin, Rick Mast, Rusty Wallace, and Dale Earnhardt. Now the 5th place car. Here's the rest of your top 10 as we go to break. We'll be right back.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Do you need a big horse? Do you need a deep tan? Do you have to have a saddle? Do you have to have the gear? Well, the simple truth is you just gotta have the beer.
Bush beer, an easy drinking Bush Light. Have you got what it takes to be a mountain man?
What does it take to live a mountain man's life? Get smooth bush berries and drinking bush light.
What's so daring about Prism car polish? It's not how you put it on, but how you take it off.
Prism Car Polish, the first and only spray-away approach to car polishing. Just wipe it on and spray it off. And in half the time, you get a durable shine. No huffing, no puffing, no buffing. Prism, the spray-away car polish.
What exactly is it that makes a Ford Escort GT so much fun? Well, let's start with its powerful 16-valve dual overhead cam engine. It's a blast. A scream! It really cooks. Then there's Escort GT's great looks. You know, the kind that'll turn more heads than a screwdriver. Speaking of turns, that's where Escort GT's nimble sport suspension comes in. We're talking road hugging. So ask yourself, isn't it time for a little fun? Yes! And have you driven a Ford lately?
Well, here's a way to beat the traffic getting home from the race here at Dover Downs on the good ship Cherie.
That's about the speed of the traffic.
That looks like the pit road speed compared to how they're going on the racetrack. Makers of world famous steel chainsaws, string trimmers, and other outdoor equipment, providing aerial views of today's Budweiser 500. Steel, as good as you thought, priced less than you think. Chief view right now is of Davey Allison, who is in the lead. You see it's a good gap back to the second place car of Mark Martin. Rick Mast in third, Rusty Wallace in fourth, Dale Earnhardt in fifth. And third place is heating up. There's Mast and there's Wallace running him down.
You see the difference in the two cars? One car cannot hold the bottom lane as tight as he needs to, and Rusty just eating him alive in the corner.
Mast made a good, strong run at Davey a while ago, and then couldn't make it, and then he's been dropping back ever since. So might have really taken something away from the tires on him. Sure falling back some now.
They are 3.3 seconds behind the leader, Davey Allison, one of 8 drivers to lead this race. Average speed 94 miles an hour, creeping back up there. They're the drivers who have led today. And there's a list of those out of the race. Put Wreck next to everybody but Irvin on that page.
And what you'll notice when they wreck up here, you don't usually see them come back. You know, a lot of times we'll see a guy getting a wreck and they'll get them back, patch them up. These mechanics are capable of almost cutting one in half and putting it together, get back in the race. But this place really tears them up.
Yep, there are no soft landings here. Coming up on 200 laps for Davey Allison. Running right down on the bottom of the racetrack. Packed house today at Dover Downs. Here's the way they're running as we move in on 200 laps.
Remember those old dirt tracks, AJ? The dirt would just heat up the engines.
Two champions sharing a winning formula. Haviland Formula 3.
My favorite win was going to be in '69. I had to give it to you. You shouldn't have even made a half a lap.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf. Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Heck, I still feel if I can't win, I don't want nobody to win. I'll try to remember that, AJ. Do that.
If you're looking into faucets, Peerless means plenty. America's leading do-it-yourself faucet. In hundreds of styles and finishes. All made with solid brass valve construction. And all warranty for as long as you own your home. The best made, best back do-it-yourself faucets in America. That's what Peerless means.
A noble warrior advised, the art of protection springs from within. One must stay vigilant against one's unfragrant perspiration, lest one provoke a hostile response. Thus, a Norse ritual is Right Guard Sport Stick. An aromatic array of the freshest scents and maximum protection against disarming wetness. Confirming the wisdom, the best defense is not to offend. Right guard sports stick. Anything less will be uncivilized.
The time has finally come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. Now you control the flow of paint, so the Wagner power roller can cut jobs in half. Smoothly and evenly, it can cover areas twice as fast. And cleanup is a snap, so you can finish one job and do another. Get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Davey Allison leads the Budweiser 500. Mark Martin, Rick Bass, Rusty Wallace, and Dale Earnhardt, the top 5. Allison was all but unnoticed in the first 150 miles of this race. Here's the battle for 11th spot. Rick Wilson, Darrell Waltrip, and Harry Gant. Kenny Schrader was part of this a minute or two ago.
Schrader was able to get around to Mike. He passed this crew here and got around. Waltrip's been the guy on the move. He's been trying to track down Rick Wilson. Been gaining on him. He got up beside him a couple times. Couldn't make the pass.
11th, 12th, and 13th position.
Waltrip is usually the kind of guy that really paces himself in these long.
Trouble in 4. Derek Cope in the wall. Bad day for the yellow cars.
You almost just felt like we've went a long time without it. And here it comes.
Lap 205. 8th caution flag of the day. Driver out of Washington State.
All the guys back in the Carolinas that work in the body shops on these race teams probably hate to be seeing this broadcast, because we're showing them plenty of work to be done.
Wow.
Let's see what happened here.
Okay, Derek.
Ooh, late speed.
Well, I tell you, he just got on that outside out there. Might have got into a problem, I don't know, but we just outside, and then it broke loose on him, went up the track.
Check, that's Bobby Labonte underneath him, not late speed. And Dick Trickle, Brett Bodine getting past.
Look at everybody head for the bottom. They're going to try to get just as low as they can. Hope he stays up there.
Duck and cover.
Yep. This is after he got in the wall. Really backed her in there. You see him locked up. This is when you want to stop. Don't head back out in that traffic.
You notice how slick the top part of that track is. Even at 20 miles an hour, the back end still sliding just a little bit.
Well, it will close up the field at lap 207. Unofficially, 17 cars on the lead lap. And all of them will visit pit road this time by.
And the way it's going, I'd say any of them have a chance to win it.
Sure.
The way we're going through these cars.
Including Elmo. Leader Davey Allison. Robert Yates brings that right front tire back across.
See if they're doing a lot of chassis adjustments. I've seen a lot of guys go in the back window. Early in the race, we saw teams making big chassis adjustments. Davey's car, they might be messing with the air pressure a little bit. They didn't turn the jack wrenches any on it, working on the springs.
Good stop.
Davey Allison and Rusty Wallace's team with good stops. Then Rick Mast and Mark Martin.
I'm not so sure these teams did put it in survival mode. Said, hey, let's wait a while and race.
The biggest thing that's happened to the #2 car is Buddy Parrott. I tell you what, every time that boy comes in the pits, he knows he's going right back out in front.
See if we get a word with Davey Allison here as they roll around under caution. Neil.
Davey, this is Neil Bonnet up with TNN. Looks like you got that thing going now.
Neil, I told y'all a while ago we've been making some adjustments, and the car feels pretty good right now. Still got just a tiny bit of push off the corner, but we're going to see, just ride this one out. We didn't make any adjustments this time. We're just going to try to see what happens, and if we need to, we'll adjust it on the next stop. But
looks like y'all making the right adjustments. Good luck.
Thank you.
Davey Allison up front. On our Racing Radio's Motorola hookup. Elmo Cam. It's the return of Elmo Cam. NASCAR pace car driver Elmo Langley. Properly buckled and belted and leading the field around.
I tell you what, Elmo has got a lot of laps on the track today. He's getting a lot of experience in that pace car. I tell you what was really unique when they had the Legends race at Charlotte. Elmo got in that car first time he drove in a race car in a long time and won the race past Cale Yarborough on the last lap.
That's right.
Let me tell you, Elmo was a racer now.
Keeping a close eye on that mirror, making sure they're lined up behind him in that brand new Pontiac Trans Am. We're going to talk to Jeff Gordon, who is in 29th position after spending some time in the garage. Buddy, go ahead.
Hello, Jeff.
Yeah.
This is Buddy Baker up here for TNN. I know you're having a struggle all day, but you're staying in there. How's that car doing? We seen you shaking your hands a while ago on the camera in here.
Oh, you know, it's just a real frustrating thing. I mean, we had such a good car, and for me to make a small mistake like I did cost us a whole lot. We had a good car, and I thought I'd got by Harry in the middle, turn 1 to 2, and he got back to the outside of me. I didn't know he was there. I turned right into him, and you know, it's cost us a lot. But I'm just hanging on to this thing and just going to try to be here all day.
Okay, man. Good luck to you, and stay in there and get those points, okay?
10-4, thanks, buddy.
Jeff Gordon still out there and chasing it. Tell you who's moved up a lot. Jimmy Spencer was 2 laps down after a green flag stop and a penalty. He's back on the lead lap, and he's up to 10th spot. Don't count him out today. Of course, he's the only yellow car, yeah, it is, that hasn't been in the wall or in the garage.
Man, don't say that. This racetrack's built for Jimmy Spencer. He flies at Bristol. He runs good in Rockingham, and this place is just right for him. He's really a strong man.
I'm corrected. Mike Waldron also has been unscathed thus far.
Now, what are you going to say if the next one is a yellow one again?
I'm not going to say a word.
You better not.
Right. Here's a mellow yellow one that's come back. Kyle Petty back from out of the garage.
Nothing mellow about it now, is it?
You might say, oh my gosh, he's 95 laps down, but the way things are going, he could be a top 20 car.
Yeah, they've got to get him back in. There's just so much on the line. They've got to repair him no matter how much damage.
Green flag. Davey Allison stepping it out from Rusty Wallace, Rick Mast, Mark Martin, and Jimmy Hensley. Allison's pit stop 18.3. Dale Earnhardt was 20.6. He's in 6th place behind Hensley. Rusty Wallace had an 18.4 second stop under yellow.
There's Mark Martin hung out there in that treacherous outside lane right behind Rick Mast. Look at Mast. He said, let me in that inside, man. I don't like it out here. Trying to get him a hole to get on the inside. What you want to do is move in there. Boy, look at Rusty like Buddy's talking about here. Getting after him now.
I think
trouble back straightaway. Mark Martin lost it, saved it. Jimmy Hensley goes around and doesn't touch a thing.
Boy, that was some great driving by Rick Wilson there.
I think Bobby Labonte behind him, though, did get into the wall.
Yeah, that is Labonte, Mike.
Oh,
you're right.
no. It's the yellow car. Jimmy Spencer got a piece of it, and Dick Trickle. Ouch.
If I had a yellow decal on, I'd take him off.
You'd probably put it over my mouth so I wouldn't say that again.
You're exactly right.
Can allow an extra man over the wall now on pit stops to service the driver. So we're under caution once again. 9th one of the day. We'll sort it out when we come back.
Hey, don't miss our awards night special edition of Crook and Chase.
We'll take you live backstage to meet the stars and talk to the winners of the TNN Music City News Country Awards.
Monday on TNN.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Listen to these voices.
She's a teacher who gave her students hope.
Isn't history beautiful?
And to a young girl named Serafina,
What do you want, mistress?
she gave something more.
I want the war to be over. I want the hate to be over. I want to come home to kindness.
Whoopi Goldberg, Lameti Kamalo, Serafina, rated PG-13.
Special smiles are one of life's pure joys. Sometimes it's your smile. Sometimes it's the smile of others. That's what you give. That's what you get as a volunteer for the Virginia Special Olympics. We need your help for these heroes. Together we win. To volunteer, call 800-932-GOLD. Virginia Special Olympics, celebrating 25 years of special smiles.
That's Bill Davis, the car owner, with a piece of fender in hand, and Tim Brewer, the crew chief for Bobby Labonte. He got into the wall after Jimmy Hensley spun. Jimmy Spencer was also involved. So was Bobby Hillen, and Dick Trickle's car is a mess after that one. This is after it started. There you see Mark Martin. See him get loose there?
Yep,
Saved it.
He got loose. Rear end twitched out on the car. He had to get out of the gas a little bit, but the chain reaction to the rear is what the problem was. Spencer turned it around. The 22 is going to enter in here somewhere. I think he was slowing and got in the outside. Well,
there goes Spencer by on the inside wall. Did you see Rick Wilson go through that little opening there?
There's Trickle up there against. No, that's the 22 against the wall.
Trickle hit everything on the bottom. Let's see.
This was a pass for the lead.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, Bobby Labonte, it looks like he got tipped there into the fence.
Watch Rick Wilson right here. He's headed directly for the door on the 7 car. He makes a tremendous save right here.
Look at all of them in the bottom down there gouging around.
That's Dick Trickle in the middle of that sandwich.
Oh, is that the, it looked like Phil Parsons right on the bottom down there. It's hard to tell.
Bobby Hillen.
Not Bobby Hillen. I'm sorry, Hillen.
From the backstretch.
Wow, that tells you there's nowhere to go sometimes. Look at Dale Jarrett there with the wheels locked up.
Jeff Gordon up against the back of Bill Elliott.
Yep.
Gordon didn't have a front end. He's looking for a little guidance there.
Yeah, right. As wide as that track looks. More repairs on the Bobby Labonte car.
Well, this 22 looks minor compared to the 75. Look at Spencer's car up behind there. We just talked about how he made up 2 laps, right in contention, and it doesn't look like a lot of damage. I'll be surprised if it doesn't really handicap him.
Well, talk about horsepower. They race horses at Dover Downs. And one time they raced horses with NASCAR drivers. Bobby Allison won the race. That's a young Dale Earnhardt. And Cale Yarborough was mad because he thought Bobby was given a faster horse. That's Cale. 1 horsepower at work here in Dover.
The new Camaro. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
We've had Old Blaze for 16 years. I mean, this Old Blaze. My husband uses it for all of his hunting and fishing trips. He and the dog absolutely love that car. Someday, when even AC Delco Parts can't keep it going, we'll just park it out back so he and the dog can sit in it and reminisce.
AC Delco Parts. It's like buying time.
Now through July 5th, save up to $11.60 on AC spark plugs and filters.
How many bowls of this cereal would it take to equal the nutritional value of the fresh fruit, eggs, grits, and bacon on Shoney's breakfast bar? Well, it depends on how big your bowl is. Cereal, bananas, peaches, melons, fruit salad, cottage cheese, bacon, scrambled eggs, sausage, potatoes, blueberry muffins, biscuits, country milk gravy, Ritz.
TNN Motorsports' exclusive live presentation of the Budweiser 500 is brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts. The factory store's outlet Ford of Dick Trickle. It looks kind of like a funeral procession for what's left of that car going off to the garage.
Man, that looked like a Saturday night special there.
Yeah, and he didn't even turn it over.
Wow.
He got caught from both sides.
Hello, Rusty. This is Buddy Baker again.
Hey, go ahead.
Don't go back anywhere. Stay up in front, man. They're doing all kind of weird stuff back here in the back of this field.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm just trying to drive a good race. We keep adjusting on the car. It's been real good all day long, but we keep finding a little bit more speed. So I think we got it now. It's really running good.
Well, you're looking good. Hang in there, man.
All right, thank you very much.
Rusty Wallace ahead of Davey Allison, Rick Mast, Dale Earnhardt, and Mark Martin, the top 5. Kenny Schrader's up to 6th during this caution period. 7th is Darrell Waltrip. 8th is Harry Gant. 9th is Michael Waltrip, just coming off pit road. Somebody punched a hole in the Pennzoil can that serves as his hood. Looks like they put a giant can opener in it. And at 10th spot is Dale Jarrett. Jimmy Hensley, after that spin, comes back on the track in 11th. Jeff Bodine is 12th. Rick Wilson 13th. Bobby Labonte 14th. And Jimmy Spencer 15th. Those are the cars on the lead lap. Get a word. We talked with Rusty Wallace. Let's see if we can get a word here with Davey Allison as he gets set to go back to green.
Dave, this is Neil again. They want to check in to see how that thing's going.
Well, Neil, it felt a little bit loose when Rusty was behind me on that restart, so I just backed off and let it go. I could have probably raced him, but it's a little bit too early in the race to be taking any unnecessary chances. So we're just going to let things settle down here, and again on the next caution or next pit stop, if we need to make any adjustments, we will. But the Texaco Havila Thunderbird really feels good.
Looks like using your head to go a long way today, just laying there with them.
Tell you what, you really got to be careful out here today. There's been a lot of action. We've seen it up too close already too many times. So we're just trying to really look ahead and pay attention to what's going on.
All right, man.
16 cars have already been bitten by the monster at the mile here. 219 laps complete. 1 to go. We'll go racing. We'll be right back.
It's a law of nature. You bring a kid to a Days Inn, the first thing they do is find the pool. My kids were the same way. Vacations were a big treat. The folks at Days Inn understand. That's why kids 12 and under stay scot-free, so parents can enjoy a comfortable stay with the family without getting soaked when they check out. At over 1,300 Days Inns worldwide, you'll find the best value under the sun.
Presenting the Ryobi Detail Sander. It gets into all those small, tight spaces where other sanders can't reach. And with special add-on accessories that also prepares surfaces for painting, scrapes paint and adhesive off glass, wood, and metal. Even polishes and buffs to a brilliant finish. In fact, you can use the Ryobi Detail Sander any place your imagination takes you.
Why use Valvoline Motor Oil? For their race cars and their own cars, Valvoline is the #1 choice of race mechanics from Indy 500 to Daytona 500 to NHRA to Baja to SCCA.
Introducing KFC Hickory Wings. Tender fried wing pieces brushed with a hickory mesquite-flavored sauce. A taste enjoyed by great outdoorsmen. And not so great. New KFC Hickory-flavored wings.
We do chicken right.
They just dropped the rag for the restart. And it's Rusty Wallace scooting away from Davey Allison. Now Morgan Shepherd, who is 1 lap down in the Citgo Ford, just ahead of Davey as they roll off turn number 2. 16 cars have been bit by the monster, and we're not even halfway. Dale Earnhardt in 4th spot, moving up on Rick Mast. Front stretch. And Earnhardt up and into 3rd place. Back to 5th place, Mark Martin and Darrell Waltrip in 6th.
When it comes down to a race between the smart guys, you always see Waltrip end up very well, and he's running about the pace it's going to take to win this race. Believe me, he is there.
He's done very well at this track, but hasn't won here in 11 years, 1982.
Kind of looks like the pace to win this race is to have 4 fenders and a motor left when it's over.
Waltrip in 6th. And he's fading back from Mark Martin, but still well ahead of that second pack of cars. Up front, Davey Allison has company at second place.
Earnhardt's been out of the picture for a long time. He got off one sequence on pit stops. It's taking a long time to try to get back to the front.
Boy, that car is handling. He just turned right under Davey Allison off the corner there and drove by him.
Well, we just heard Davey say they're maybe not just exactly like he wants to be, but they're getting it better every time. So just don't overextend the thing. Just you got a long way to go yet. Earnhardt seems to have his car like he wants it right now.
Mark Martin goes underneath Rick Mast, and Mark moves up to 4th place. So it's Pontiac, Chevy, Ford, and Ford.
And then a bunch of wrecks. We better identify them while they got fenders on them. It's hard to tell after they run a few laps of what they are.
That's why they put the number on the roof. Sometimes it's the only straight panel left, like Dick Trickle's car. From Mark Martin, looking back at Rick Mast.
Look how fast those poles go by on the side. We can't get the point across to you how hard these guys are running.
Telephone poles look like a picket fence. Isn't that how that song goes?
Yep, and hey, let me tell you, they do here.
9th place, Jeff Bodine and Rick Wilson battle it out. Jimmy Spencer just behind them. Bodine's had some good success at this track, and so has his car owner Bud Moore. He's ended up sniffing around the top 5 for a good part of this day.
Coming down the front straightaway, Earnhardt getting around the lap car of Morgan Shepherd. Shepherd's car almost just right on the edge of getting that lap back 2 or 3 different times to get the right set of circumstances.
They're pushing Bobby Hillen's car to the garage. Tough day for Junie Donlevy's crew. Donlevy's only career win as a car owner came right here. Jody Ridley winning in 1981. Harry Gant and Dale Jarrett. This is for 7th place. Just behind Darrell Waltrip. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, they've cut the front end of Dick Trickle's car off. They're working real hard to try to get him back in. He had an awfully good run going. You can see the work going on in the car. Dick, good car, good run today. What happened?
Well, you know, we're running real good with the Factory Stores America Ford. You know, it's our new sponsor. You know, what happened was, I guess Mark and a couple of cars up ahead, you know, got into a jam. The cars were going all over. I had a miss, and whoever's behind me just drilled me and sent me into everything. And, you know, some of these guys just don't have any brakes or something. But it was a good run for us. I'm sure we'd had a top 5 finish. With this long race, you could win it.
Well, that's very true. He did have an awfully good car. Tough break for Dick. Better luck next week.
Well, this team is really developing, doing a lot of work. Expect some good runs coming from us.
Kyle Petty back on the racetrack, but now problems underneath in the drive line. That battle for 7th place decided for the moment in favor of Dale Jarrett. Up ahead of Harry Gant now. Well, we're below the record pace at Dover Downs for the most caution-plagued event. 93 miles an hour the average speed so far, and we're inching up on halfway.
I'm beginning to wonder if we've got enough cars to go 500 miles where it's going.
There's 3 of them that can. Dale Earnhardt inching up on Rusty Wallace for the lead. Now this is also for the Winston Cup point lead. Wallace, the early season leader. Earnhardt right now has 129 points on Rusty Wallace.
We were just told that Mark Martin has speedy dry in his eyes and having trouble with his vision just a little bit.
I'll tell you, as many wrecks as we had, they put a lot of that stuff out on the track to dry it off. I've gotten that stuff in there before, and it takes about a bottle of Murine to get it out.
Yep.
So he's just going to have to hang on until they get a caution, and they can see if they can get it out of there.
That is irritating. Front 3 cars tied together are steel chainsaws, helicopter shocked. Steel, as good as you thought, priced less than you think, giving you these aerial views of Dover Downs and the battle for the lead. We'll be right back to the Monster Mile after this.
My father was in the garage business, and his father was in the garage business. Well, my father was my mechanic all my life. I've got some old Craftsman tools that are still around, which I love and I treasure. My grandfather and also my father's tools, which nobody could ever buy.
1,600 Craftsman hand tools, made in America, guaranteed forever.
He really believed in Craftsman, same as I do.
Only at Sears.
Boom! Last Action Hero. What do you think of anyone who doesn't see this movie?
Big mistake.
I love this place! I think it's the biggest movie of the summer. And now when you go to Burger King and order a flame-broiled Whopper with large fries and a medium drink, you get this Last Action Hero animated action cup free. Like him, you can be large and in charge. So see the movie and collect all 4 cups. It's your way, right away. I love this place, and I'm going to see the movie.
Man, we're out here to test. Nothing but rain. Hey, where's Mario?
2 champions sharing a winning formula. Haviland Formula 3.
I hear your power is looking good for you this year.
It's unbelievable.
Must run pretty hot in a tight draft, though.
Got that pretty well beat.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf.
Yeah, I'm wide open all the time.
Hey, only way to do it.
Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Quit raining, please.
Want to take it for a spin?
Man, do I?
No. I mean the street version of my Royal Oak Camaro. It's one of the grand prizes in Royal Oak's championship season sweepstakes. Or you could win a Ranger boat with an Evinrude motor like Orlando's. See the Royal Oak charcoal display for details. I just knew he was going to do that.
Cruising along under the caution flag at the NASCAR mandated 1.3 miles per hour in the inlets of Delaware Bay. Cruising along slightly faster, the 3 cars battling for the lead. Wallace, Earnhardt, and Allison. Davey Allison came up and took a run at Dale Earnhardt a couple of laps ago while we were away, and they traded second place back and forth.
I think that was just a little flex of muscles. I think Davey said, heck with it. It's too early to get into that kind of fight.
Race for 10th spot here. Jeff Bodine, Ken Schrader.
Ooh, me. Schrader wanted to get the nose up there. Good thing he backed out. Then he got hung up coming off that corner and turned him around.
Well, they've both been on the lead lap all day. Both having a good run. Ford against Chevrolet there for 10th spot. Rick Wilson's Pontiac just ahead of them. They are 12 seconds behind the race leader as Schrader makes a run down the bottom.
Seems like the key here is to make sure that other driver knows that you're in there. You know, the lap before we saw Schrader get the nose up beside him. Wasn't sure he knew he was there and he backed out. Then he cleared him totally on that pass.
Now, as they battled double file, Jimmy Spencer was able to come right up there and bring Mike Waltrip with him. Four cars battling for 10th.
I was looking at Spencer's car there. It looks like an old turkey on the farm when he spreads his tail out. He's got some real damage on that thing. Look at that thing on his back end all curled up on him.
Doesn't seem to be hurting him too bad. You know, we were questioning how bad it would damage that car on the aerodynamics, but he's running along pretty good.
Let's check with Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, we're down here in Rec Road. Bobby Hillen has brought the Heilig Myers Ford in. If there was ever a candidate for a guy who had the cool move of the race that was in, we saw him miss 3 wrecks earlier on, but the law of averages finally got you, Bobby.
I'll tell you what, you know, I hate it for Heilig Myers. You know, it seems like we're getting better and better. We're trying to do them a good job, and you know, we missed stuff all day, like you said. We were on the lead lap, and we were just, you know, getting the car better, and I thought we had a really good race going, and it just didn't catch up with us.
Crew's working on the car. Are you going to go back out?
I think we probably will go back out. Just depends on how long it takes to get it fixed.
Okay, they're working on it right now. Bobby's going to try to get back in the action.
Well, Glenn, there are cars in this race. Kyle Petty, for example, is 115 laps down, but he's out there running, so long way to go. Anything can happen.
Like you're saying that he's that far down, but there's a couple of cars out in front of him. If he runs a few more laps, he's going to move up about 3 or 4 positions in the next 30 laps, so it pays off.
Yeah, he'll be a top 30 car today and maybe top 25. You saw behind Bobby Hill and Lake Speed's car being pushed into the garage. And here's Earnhardt lapping past Jimmy Means. Second place, tracking Rusty Wallace. Here's your Napa Field Standing Update, brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts.
We saw Rusty get caught on a lap car there a little bit and lost some ground. Earnhardt was able to close in.
You'll find these first 14 cars in the rundown are on the lead lap. So look out the back of Jeff Gordon's car at leader, Davey Allison. Davey coming around to get halfway behind Dale Earnhardt. He's not the leader, excuse me, behind Dale Earnhardt and leader Rusty Wallace. There's halfway, 250 down.
Does that mean there's 250 to go?
I'll explain it to you during the next break.
Okay.
Wallace, Earnhardt, and Allison, the top three. Mark Martin in fourth, Rick Mast in fifth. Sixth is Darrell Waltrip. Seventh, Dale Earnhardt. Eighth is Harry Gant. Ninth now, Rick Wilson. And 10th, Ken Schrader. Had a lot of questions on the 800 number. Why don't they let him use a backup car during the race?
Because they would, on a track like this, you'd bring 6 and there'd be no place to park all of them.
You'd smack the wall as hard as Ricky Rudd did. Would you want to go get in a backup car?
Well, they probably would like to do that.
Yeah.
They'd run out of cars here. They wouldn't have anything to take next week.
There's got to be some line drawn, and it's the deal. You can start it with a backup car, and if you have a problem during a race, you got to fix that car. You can do anything to the motor as long as you leave the same engine block in it. So there's restrictions on what can be done.
Those two cars right there, they love to race each other. I know near the end of this race, if it seems just like it is now, this is going to be a fight that we will all remember.
Only 2 races this year have been won by the driver leading at halfway. Now Wallace has won 4. Race for 11th place here. Jimmy Spencer, Jeff Bodine, and Michael Waltrip.
We had a call, Mike. Some guys called and said, did NASCAR outlaw chrome wheels on these cars? They did for a very simple reason. The wheel weights wouldn't stick on. And it's slinging the wheel weights off right up through the hood of the car and then up in the grandstands at times. So they did that just simply where they could make the wheel weights stay on better.
There's Jimmy Spencer in 11th place. Meineke Mufflers Ford. And up at 9th place, Rick Wilson and Ken Schrader. Schrader's been moving up a spot at a time here.
Schrader's been real cautious. We seen him just a little bit earlier racing under a guy taking his time getting by. Here he's with Rick. The way this race is playing out, caution's going to be your advantage to take care of the car.
Neil, you see them get away. Years back, we used to move the groove up. We would just keep moving it up until we had room for a bunch of cars to run here, but you can't do that anymore. If you leave that bottom line, you're out of here.
Well, at the speed they're going, boy, once it breaks loose, there's Richard Petty. He's in there checking that 44 car, watching Schrader race with him.
Lapping past Bobby Labonte, his car badly damaged and being black flagged. Don't believe he's running up to speed right now.
Well, Richard's got all kind of cowboy hats, hasn't he? Every time you see him, got a different cowboy hat on.
Yeah, Charlie One Horse makes those hats.
I saw him last week in Charlotte riding a Harley, and I said, "Wait, yeah, Richard's riding a Harley, and he had a motorcycle, had a baseball cap on." I said, "Where's the cowboy hat?" He said, "Damn near blew me off the bike."
Kyle Petty rode his Harley here from Charlotte, along with Eddie Gossage from Charlotte Motor Speedway, Mike Dranis, one of our tape producers, and Robin Pemberton. Kyle's crew, they're going to ride up to New York City tonight. Ride on up and see the Mark Twain house. Kyle's quite a literary buff. Then go on up to New Hampshire and do some testing up at the Speedway in Loudon. Then ride home.
I believe they'll sell them by the time they get that far.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can talk them into riding them back from there.
Could well be. 12th place battle right here. Jeff Bodine and Mike Waltrip. Mike's older brother Darrell currently in 6th place. Don't count him out of it as they move past Kyle Petty. Darrell Waltrip being interviewed by Benny Parsons, pooped after winning in 1982. Here in the fall of that year, he nipped 22-year-old Kyle Petty by a couple of car lengths to win. Waltrip won 3 driving titles for Junior Johnson in the 6 years he drove for him. Among those he beat for the '85 title, Terry Labonte at 44, Tim Richmond at 27.
Saturday live on TNN Motorsports, the Busch season's getting good. And from behind the wheel, it's clear sailing ahead. But nothing lasts forever. Live from Myrtle Beach, Carolina Pride, Budweiser 250. Saturday live on TNN.
The Hawks were the most feared, most hated players in the league. I want it out of the game. Until the league's worst team
You really suck.
decided to take a stand and teach them a lesson.
Get out there. You're going down.
The Mighty Ducks, rated PG.
Roads golfers, don't miss your chance to take a swing at cystic fibrosis at the Contel Sailors annual Williamsburg Golf Classic on June the 7th at Two Rivers Country Club. The day includes this area's best golf, plenty of fun and prizes. A 19th hole reception with great food and a fabulous auction will complete this day of excellent golf. Sponsored by Contel Sailor, WFOG 92.9 and American Airlines. For information, call 1-800-572-3213. Let's make the 1990s a decade of the cure.
Welcome back to Dover Downs. Our steel helicopter being piloted by Kerry Shelton of Norfolk, Virginia, and cameraman George Shapsma of Melbourne, Florida. Steel chainsaws, as good as you thought, priced less than you think, providing aerial coverage of today's race. Brad from Missouri is one of the inquiring minds that called in and wants to know, what's the fewest number of cars to finish a 500-mile race?
We'll let you know in about 2 hours.
Yeah. 10 cars out of 44 starters finished the 1964 Atlanta 500. I wonder if that counts the pace car. Here's a race for 6th place. Darrell Waltrip has Dale Jarrett breathing down his neck.
Buddy was right earlier when you talk about this being Waltrip's type of race. A lot of discipline there, and he'll lay in there with that thing, and he'll be there at the end.
Well, you look at both those cars. Neither one of them have a scratch on them.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that. At least they're not yellow, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a tough day on yellow cars. Even
green,
mellow yellow ones.
green and black.
And most other colors, too. Harry Gant, presently in 8th place. 14 cars on the lead lap.
Dale Jarrett's been working on Waltrip. He's gained on him quite a bit the last 3 or 4 laps he's there now, just trying to get the right opportunity to get around Darrell.
And they're not gaining much on Morgan Shepherd. Morgan's a lap down, but he is in 15th place. The first of the cars 1 lap back. Here comes Jarrett.
Just not quite enough with the drive on him under Darrell. A driver like this, like Jarrett, he knew that if he sailed it on there on the bottom, it wouldn't stick. He'd slide up in the side of Darrell. He's going to have to get the right kind of run to make the pass.
Dick Trickle got back out on the racetrack, ran a lap or 2. Now they're beginning to move in on Morgan, and Harry Gant is catching them. Gant, the 8th place car.
See Jarrett right up under Waltrip now, as close as he's been to make that change. Then he goes around the lap car. See him have to run that 1 lane wider. Look how much distance it cost him coming off the corner.
I think the reason you see these cars starting to move around and trying to move up is they're about a half a lap down to the leader right now, and they know they better not get too far back, because once you get a lap down on these lead cars, and this, you know, they thin down the traffic now, so you won't have the yellows like you did. I think they know they better get with it.
13 seconds from these cars to the leaders, and here they are. Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt keeping close company.
Having to work some lap traffic around the outside. Really have to tiptoe when you get out there.
That's the 14th place car, Jimmy Hensley, going a lap down.
Let me tell you, in a case like that, Hensley probably threw his hand up and told him inside. You work with these good drivers. Hensley's really got a good head on his shoulders. He'll tell them inside. He'll move out and let them have that good preferred line getting in that corner. There's Rusty coming up on his brother to lap him. At number 40, that's Kenny Wallace right there from his brother.
know, Kenny's car hasn't been working too well all day, but trouble on both Jeff Gordon and Bobby Labonte. Kenny Wallace could well end up the top rookie. He's in 19th place right now. And Dale Jarrett went past Darrell Waltrip. Harry Gant has a look to the low side, but he's not going to move up and take that 7th spot away just yet.
Harry's probably in a situation Buddy talked about earlier. He's probably in a able to follow a lot more than he is to lead. He's got the front of the car damaged pretty bad. It'll really make a run up behind someone, but it's hard to get out front and drive away from him.
Well, he's got the very thing he wants right now. He's got a couple of cars in front of Darrell, so he can move around and pick up the draft off. I don't believe he'll make that on the top.
Well, if anybody can, Harry's used to that part. He just, gosh, you got it to stick a little bit, but that's about 50 feet lower than he normally run here years ago.
That's a whole new groove, folks, though, from what they've been running. Pass on the outside like that. And on this long shot in the straightaway, you'll see the thing from hell behind them I think that's Dick Trickle's car. You can't even find a number on it. We'll get back to that in a minute. Mark Martin now has Rick Mast, the 5th place car, chasing him. Mark is 4th behind Wallace, Earnhardt, and Allison.
Rick Mast has had a good run all day long. Time we turn around, he's working his way back up front.
This battle is 7.5 seconds behind the leader.
I think Mark's car may be just a little bit out of kilter in the middle part of the corner, because I noticed Rick Mast is eating him alive right in the center part of the corner there.
But Martin seems to have the acceleration coming out. Bobby Labonte getting black flag. And again, he's trying to keep that car up to speed so he can keep it on the racetrack and pile up some points. It is Dick Trickle.
Yes, it is.
Looks like a modified. Looks like he ought to be up on the modified tour.
That's a beautiful car, but it's not right now.
No.
When it's first starting the race, it's got enough colors on it to get your attention, but right now, that's an ugly thing.
I'd like to see that in your rearview mirror.
I'll tell you what, he does not need to bump into anybody, because that's the radiator in the oil cooler will be what he touches on. If they knock the whole front off the car, everything's exposed on it now. He touches something now, it'll be out of commission for sure.
Remember, he was the middle car in that 3-car sandwich after Jimmy Hensley spun and Bobby Labonte got into the wall. And Bobby Labonte's taking his car to the garage area. Dale Earnhardt coming into the pits.
When 280 seemed out of reach, it's Joe Amato and Autolite who punch it. The wall goes to 290. Connie Coletta and Autolite smash it. 300, the barrier. Kenny Bernstein and Autolite shatter it. Autolite and the Record Breakers. Wow, I feel good. We feel pretty good about that.
3 reasons not to buy BF Goodrich TA tires. Being the center of attention makes you uncomfortable. You think a Little Deuce Coupe is a place where tiny chickens are kept. You think Lug Nuts is a high-fiber cereal. BF Goodrich TA tires when you're ready to get serious.
Mountain man survival skills. The basics. A true mountain man must have a keen sense of direction, a certain physical dexterity, and a talent for surviving the most unforgiving climates. Of course, nothing is more key to a mountain man's survival than plenty of smooth bush beer and easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and learn how the mountain man survives even the most grueling conditions.
TNN Motorsports exclusive live coverage of the Budweiser 500 is being brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light. Dale Earnhardt had made a pit stop just as we went to break under the green flag. Was running second at the time, and he comes back out a lap down. 19.5-second pit stop. We'll show it to you. This was taped as we were in commercial.
You can tell it was very unexpected. The gas man was running over with the gas cans late. He came off turn 4, was almost past the entrance to pit road, just turned down. He lost it. Looked like he lost another right front tire. It's hard to tell, but our guys are down checking on that.
We're going to find out from Glenn Jarrett.
Well, it was unexpected, Richard. That's the second time that's happened. It cut the inside of the right front tire.
Yeah, well, that's the second tire we've had a separation on. Must just be leaning on it a little hard right there.
Is it rubbing part of the suspension?
No, it's not rubbing nothing. I think we're just building up so much heat. The track's so fast. They're running some really fast laps. I think that's what's doing it.
Well, now we got something else going on here. Earnhardt's wanting to talk to Richard, but we talked about earlier on in the race that they're going to have a problem running so fast through these corners. That's exactly what Richard Chura says is going on. It's building up excess heat in that right front tire, causing the tire to separate.
As Earnhardt struggles to regain lost ground, Davey Allison has come to the front, taking the lead from Rusty Wallace. Now that's Jeff Bodine trying to keep from going a lap down.
I tell you what, I think when you see one of these guys have tire troubles, everybody reevaluates the pace they're running. You know, I'm not so sure what's happening. That was a big change. Rusty, big lead. Earnhardt has a tire problem. All of a sudden, Rusty slows down. So see what happens.
I think we're getting into scheduled pit stops. Rick Wilson here. It's been about 80 laps since he was in. Earnhardt's stop came 72 laps after he'd been on pit road.
You know, Neil, we talked earlier about Earnhardt runs so hard into the corner that he builds up that heat, where Rusty goes in a little bit easier, comes off harder. So it seems to be working on Rusty's car. He's not hurting the tires as much as Earnhardt is.
No, but the same deal. You can clock both cars, and if they run the same exact lap times, they're just doing it at different places on the track.
Dale Jarrett in 5th, Harry Gant in 6th, keeping close company. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Well, gentlemen, we talked earlier, Davey Allison did, about how his car was getting better and better, and they kept on working on it. Well, the Dale Jarrett team is doing the same thing. Under the last caution flag, they took one of these rubbers in each of the rear spring. They placed it in the coil spring to help stiffen it up. The car was pushing in the corner. They wanted to tighten up the rear end to see if they could get the rear end to come out a little bit. The car is running much better now. So a rubber in each one of the right and left rear springs for Dale Jarrett.
Jarrett there just ahead of Harry Gant, presently now showing in 5th place. Up onto the leaderboard behind Allison, Wallace, Mast, and Mark Martin. Rusty's led 75 laps today. Davey Allison has now led 60, and Earnhardt 47. Driver who leads the most laps picks up 5 bonus points, in addition to 5 points for every driver who leads at least 1 lap today. Well, can Earnhardt come back from being a lap down twice this afternoon?
Mike, the thing that might play out now, we were 70 laps into a run. They can go 90 to 100. If they run 20 more laps of green, they'll be back in the same set of circumstances until the next stop for Earnhardt.
This battle for 11th place, Neil. Jeff Bodine has been holding off Mike Walter for about the last 30 laps here. They have both just gone a lap down to Davey Allison and Rusty Wallace. A bit of tape on the front of Mike's car.
Looks like the deal would be the guy selling tape today.
That and body parts.
Yeah, Mike's car, he's been getting the thing a little bit better as the day went along. He's missed several wrecks. Got punched right in the front end there. Had some duct tape on it, but he's been getting that thing a little bit quicker as the day goes along.
Yeah, that looked like he might have went all the way to the gas tank on somebody's back end there. The front end was really, you know, way up high there. He lifted somebody off the ground.
Bobby Hamilton makes a pit stop, comes back out.
Bud Strickland turned down about the same time he's coming down pit road.
Scheduled stops under green. 295 laps complete here at Dover.
Ted Musgrave coming in. It must be getting close to these stops like you're talking about, Mike. The cars started coming down pit road.
Not yet the leaders, although action now in the Jimmy Spencer pit. He is the 9th place car. Neil, with Earnhardt having problems on the right front of the car, are these cars sophisticated enough you can set the car up to run it off the right front or run the car off the right rear, make that choice?
That's one of the big keys, Mike. Dale Earnhardt runs off the right front. They know how hard he drives the car in the corner, so they start the race with more spring and more shock and stuff on the right front than most drivers will do. You don't have to be a genius to see him at a lot of the racetracks just sail off in the corner. That's where he runs up on people, so they compensate. They have to go stiffer for him.
Earnhardt is in 13th position. 1 lap behind the leader. There are 9 cars on the lead lap.
The problem they have is when they tell Dale to lift early, he lifts just 2 lengths deeper than anybody else, instead of 5.
There you see it, that dive bomb move as he goes under here again. Now Earnhardt's on fresh tires. Remember, he is a lap down to Gant and there to Dale Jarrett. Here again, riding along in 6th spot. Here's your leader on pit road, Davey Allison.
Whoa, it's coming around. Whoa.
And he nicks the pit wall. That's a very sharp turn down off the banking to get onto the pit lane there.
Plus, there was a ton of oil dry. When we get an opportunity after this stop, we'll go back. There was so much oil dry, it didn't help him either.
He's going to have to go past Ted Musgrave. They're pushing Musgrave's car toward the garage area. Now they stop to let Allison go by.
I don't think it damaged the car when he turned around. It looked like it was hurt, but other than the loss of time.
Neil, the banking is so high here that when cars run, it takes that oil dry off the bank and pulls it on the pit road there. That's the only flat surface around here, and boy, it was slick. You could just see the car getting in more trouble as they come in.
Oh, actually, they're not pushing Musgrave's car to the garage. You see the can of ether there. They're trying to get him restarted.
Yeah, he's out of fuel. I don't think it did any damage to Davey's car other than the loss of time.
So Allison is back out. Jimmy Spencer is on pit road. Let's have another look here.
Now let's watch as he turns off. Watch when he turns off this white line. He's coming down pit road. Now wait till he gets right. Look at the oil dry right there where it's been coming off track like Buddy's talking about. He got in that oil dry with the right rear wheel. You see the dust flying up off of it. More oil dry. You know, whenever there's a caution, they put all the safety equipment on the track and clean it off. Where it goes is to the bottom.
Right. Spencer completes his pit stop. So does Dale Jarrett. That puts Rusty Wallace back in the lead. Rick Mast has made his stop, waiting on Mark Martin, Harry Gant, and Kenny Schrader, now the 5th place car, to make their stops under green. Here's Gant and Darrell Waltrip, who was in 6th place, making pit stops. Waltrip's crew on the right side, and Gant coming into his pits. And Gant got a little loose in the oil dry as he came to pit road. Mark Martin is in the pit lane, the 2nd place car. Harry Gant has experienced the thrill of victory at Dover Downs, having won 4 times. But he's felt a sting of defeat as well. Gant's the defending champion of the Budweiser 500. And here's Gant slipping under Ken Schrader, driving the number 90 Junie Donlevy Ford.
From the days when they ripped through the sands of Daytona to tracks like Talladega and Darlington, racing fans have had a love affair with the drivers. To commemorate these heroes, Country Time presents our new Collector Series, featuring Kowicki, Gant, Shepard, Hamilton, Jarrett, and Darrell Waltrip. What better way to salute the men who risk it all on the Speedway and the fans who make it all worthwhile?
Why use Valvoline Motor Oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics, Daytona 500 chief mechanics, NHRA mechanics, and Baja 1000 mechanics. For use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use Valvoline.
What's so daring about Prism car polish? It's not how you put it on, but how you take it off.
Prism Car Polish, the first and only spray-away approach to car polishing. Just wipe it on and spray it off. And in half the time, you get a durable shine. No huffing, no puffing, no buffing. Prism, the spray-away car polish.
Oil.
It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
Buddy Parrott.
Mike Waltrip has not made a pit stop. He's the leader in the Budweiser 500. And Dale Earnhardt, who made his stop early, shows on the board in second position as stops continue under green. Mike Waltrip, the last of the cars in the lead lap. Rusty Wallace was leading when he made this stop while we were away.
This is as good a bunch of guys as you'll see changing tires. They've been beating everybody on pit road for the last couple of months.
4-tire change from what has become one of the fastest pit crews in the business this season, led by Buddy Parrott. Parrott on the headset. You saw him punching a button, yelling go. Watch Harry Gant come onto pit road here.
Same deal that happened to Davey. Got in this oil dry. Was really squirming around. Got all that stuff right there opening pit road there, causing him problem also. We're going to have a caution to clean pit road.
There's your leader, Mike Waltrip, seeking his first Winston Cup win for Chuck Ryder. Best finish this year, 10th at Talladega in May. He is the 11th driver to lead this race. That ties the track record.
That's a mystery that car hadn't won, because Michael Waltrip has run so well in so many races, and everybody's going, you know, when he wins one, he'll probably win 10 in a row, but it's got to happen yet.
Yeah, let me tell you, I'm not so sure it's not going to be the biggest celebration on the circuit for all the teams to see Chuck Ryder and his wife. They've really been dedicated to the sport. Good race, good bunch of people love racing. The day that car wins, there'll be a big celebration by everyone.
Well, he's posted as the race leader. Earnhardt is second. Rusty Wallace is third. Davey Allison fourth. Mark Martin fifth. Rick Mast and Dale Jarrett are the cars on the lead lap. Kenny Schrader is one lap down to Michael Waltrip.
Michael is stretching to stop. I don't think he's been in. Here he comes right now. We're talking about stretching. Let's see if he gets through this oil drive. Somebody better warn him.
He's coming in a little easy. Didn't take that sharp dive off of turn 4. I'm sure they'll let him know.
One thing that helped him, he's up there way up pit road too, and he had to be a lot slower at that end.
Did it there next to Wally Donalback's Keystone crew. And from the helicopter.
Four tires. Anytime you stop nowadays, you might as well put 4 on. That pit road speed limit kills you on doing 2 and 2, so you got to get 4 every time you come in.
Good stop for Michael, but it puts this man in the lead. Dale Earnhardt. It is the third time Earnhardt has led today.
Chris Schrader right up there with him. Schrader trying that inside line. He takes it.
Schrader gets his lap back.
Schrader just came out on fresh tires. Car's running really good right now.
McKenney, who has led 2 laps today, is back on the lead lap.
I'll tell you what they've got to do. They've got to be telling Dale they've got to get him to work on that, easing that thing down in the corner a little bit. You know, we saw him give up that lead a little easier. He can't afford to keep tearing those right fronts off. He's dodged the wall twice. You blow it right front at the wrong place, and you're going to knock the fence down, or attempt to.
That's what I was going to say. I don't believe you can knock this one down. I've hit it hard enough to wake up people on the other side of town.
Yeah, I hit it a couple of times, and I looked up to see how much damage I did, and there was a little bit of paint on the wall. Not going to hurt it.
Earnhardt moves past Kenny Wallace. Wallace, the highest rookie in the race, and Felix Sabates dirt double Pontiac. It must be hard to back off your pace when you have a car that's working as well as Earnhardt's is.
Yeah, but somewhere you've got to have a happy medium of survival. You know, he's up there in that points thing. If he keeps too hard and blows it out, he'll be out of the race and go all the way to the rear. Another wreck coming off turn 2.
Hut Strickland. I think the hamburger got him. Crunched up the right rear of that Junior Johnson car, the left rear.
It's hard to tell. They've all crunched on so many different ends so far. Most of these cars that are out here have been damaged one end or the other.
Trying to get turned around here.
Not a lot of room in that little funnel on the back straightaway to do that.
And it will be the 10th caution of the day at lap 319 for Hut Strickland in the McDonald's Ford. Earnhardt the leader, Rusty Wallace in second, Allison, Martin, and Mass the top 5. Hut Strickland pulls away. We'll be back to Dover Downs and more of the Budweiser 500 after this.
Most ordinary protectants are runny and messy, but now there's something better. Most ordinary protectants feel greasy and oily, but now there's something better. Most ordinary protectants aren't worth the price. Now there's something better. Something better, the first foam protectant that does it all. It stays where it's sprayed to give rubber, vinyl, and plastic a clean, natural luster, and it does it all for less. Given a choice, why wouldn't you try something better?
Presenting the Ryobi Detail Sander. It gets into all those small, tight spaces where other sanders can't reach. And with special add-on accessories, it also prepares surfaces for painting. Scrapes paint and adhesive off glass, wood, and metal. Even polishes and buffs to a brilliant finish. In fact, you can use the Ryobi Detail Sander any place your imagination takes you.
I didn't really think I'd have to tie the refrigerator down.
Well, he was wrong.
We were going along and just about right here.
We hit a bump.
The refrigerator went end over end out the back.
He single-handedly wrestled it back into the trailer.
It's run great for over 5 years, no problem.
One problem.
Yeah, I heard you.
More people repurchase Kenmore appliances and have them delivered than any other brand. Now save $20 on this 7-amp Kenmore, just $79.99. Its lowest price ever during Kenmore days.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think? Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
And the hits just keep on coming. The latest, Hut Strickland of the McDonald's Ford in the back straightaway. That puts us under caution here for the 10th time today at lap 321. Let's show you what happened.
Can't really tell. It just looked like he went around.
He's right there in front again. He came off turn 2, looped it around.
He's in good shape there.
Gant and Wally Dallenbach getting past. Top left corner of your screen.
We can see him when he gets sideways up there. It was directly in front of Gant and Wally Dallenbach, like you're talking about, right down at the bottom.
Wow.
We showed at the top of the show that there's not very much banking. I think it's like 9 degrees off of that corner, but it doesn't take but just a little bit. On that straightaway, it's going to shove you right down at the bottom.
Under caution right now, Earnhardt lined up just ahead of Rusty Wallace. Rusty, this is Mike Joy up at TNN. The folks at home are wondering, how hard are you and Dale racing, or are you guys running, trying to get to the last 100 laps of this thing?
It looks like we're racing pretty hard. He got out of sync a little while ago, but everybody's back in sync now, so it'll be a heck of a race. I feel like I already run 600 miles, still got 200 to go.
Well, have you got enough for him?
The cars are pretty equal. We'll just have to see.
Rusty, how's the wrist doing?
It's aching pretty good, but it's doing its job.
Okay, thanks. It'll ache a lot less if he gets back in front.
I'll tell you what, it's going to take more than a sore wrist right now to bother Rusty. I'll tell you, he's ready to get after Earnhardt when this thing gets going again.
323 laps complete. We are under caution. Give a call to Bobby Hamilton, who's up to 16th place after starting 33rd today. We'll be right back.
Saturday live on TNN Motorsports. The Busch season's getting good. And from behind the wheel, it's clear sailing ahead. but nothing lasts forever. Live from Myrtle Beach, Carolina Pride Budweiser 250. Saturday live on TNN.
Here at US 258 Auto Parts, we realize the need for an import and truck parts outlet. That's right, we're making the switch to bring you quality parts at low prices. We specialize in Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Volvo, Geo, and any brand trucks available. At US 258 Auto Parts, we're working to clean up the environment by recycling quality tested parts for your savings. Call us at one of these numbers on the Peninsula, South Side, or toll free.
Newport News Cable is the entertainment value leader in Hampton Roads, and the values keep on coming in this month's cable bill. Enjoy three-way savings on family fun with discounts on putt-putt and arcade tokens, all from putt-putt golf and games. Here's three-way car care savings, an oil and filter change for just $14.90, an oil change and tune-up for $39.90, or complete brake service for just $54.90 from Sparks Computerized Car Care. These money-saving coupons are one more way to say thanks for subscribing to Newport News Cable.
Well, they're unloading Buddy Baker's supper out there on the Delaware Bay. There are places out here when you can pick your own live crabs to be cooked for supper. Just don't shake hands with one of them. 324 laps are up. Dale Earnhardt in front of Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, Davey Allison, and Rick Mast. Here's Randy.
Well, crew chief Andy Petrie conferring with Richard Childress and Will Lynn on the crew here. Andy, our car was a little loose, but you caught a break with that caution. I know that made you happy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That caution there probably didn't help us too much. We had to pit a little bit early there, but, you know, right now we got about 180 to go since we stopped, so we got to go 90 and 90. Looks like gas is going to be a factor, too, but I don't think it's going to be, for us, I don't think it's going to be too tight.
You gave it one round of wedge in the left side. Now, I understand it was a little bit loose, but I've not seen too many times you took some tape off the front of the grill. That's not unusual, I guess, though.
Well, yeah, we're just trying to cool the brakes a little bit more, and actually we're not loose. We're a little bit tight. We took a round wedge out of it, but I think it'll help a little bit.
Well, maybe they're conning us on the scanner here. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, this Robert Redford-looking face belongs to Robert Yates, the car owner for Davey Allison, and boy, that caution came at the right time, Robert.
Well, you know, it did. We needed that. We had a little problem getting into the pit road. It's full of speedy drops there. I guess we just were not on top of it to let him know about it, and when we looked up pit road, it was very disappointing to be leading the race and look up and see him sitting there sideways. I've seen that show one time before with Bobby in Atlanta, and you know, nobody's upset about it. We'll just know about it next time. We'll try to watch that kind of stuff more days. It was just an unknown that jumped in front of him, and we recovered okay. We were going to be all right.
Okay, everything okay down here now that he got that pit stop and got back in sequence and got caught up. Mike?
Thanks, Glenn. Well, let's check with his driver, Davey Allison. Kind of everything squared away. Davey, this is Mike Joy up at TNN. Looks like you got a little good scare there getting onto pit road, but is the car everything okay and everything still lined up the way it was?
Well, Mike, the car felt pretty good when we went back out after that little miscommunication by the driver getting onto pit road. I got out into that loop stuff and it just got away from me. We came out real lucky, though. Didn't hurt anything. I know Liz, the kids are at home watching, and all the family like to say hi to them and wish Liz a happy birthday. Tomorrow's her birthday.
Okay, good luck, Davey. He'll line up in fourth place behind Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, and Mark Martin. A Chevy, a Pontiac, and 3 Fords.
That Davey is a pretty cool customer, running second place in a 500-mile race and remembering a birthday. I don't think I was ever that calm.
I never could remember my own. It says somebody else's. I'm trying to forget them more and more as it goes along, too.
You just want to keep having them, though.
Yeah, they're nice. Come around.
Dick Trickle and making a pit stop along with Jimmy Spencer.
You know, he was talking about me eating. That was my dinner coming up on that shore. I had dinner with you last night, Mike, and you look like a lathe on a piece of wood on that corn last night.
And the hits just keep on coming. Good thing we're ready to get back to green here, buddy. 327 laps down on the high lane. Cars on the lead lap. Earnhardt, Wallace, Martin, Allison, Rick Mast, the top 5. Dale Jarrett and Kenny Schrader. Those are the cars on the lead lap. Mike Waltrip on the inside, the yellow car, 1 lap down after he made his pit stop under green. He pitted as the leader. ended up getting overlapped by Earnhardt prior to the caution flag.
You know, when you ask Rusty, we talked to him, was he running hard or racing? They're racing. They're ready to go at it. He's got a long way to go yet. But it seems like the guy that gets out in front can pace himself a little bit better.
Well, no question they're racing. What I wondered from Rusty is he running hard up against Earnhardt to try to get that lead, or is he kind of content right now? Let's burn off some laps and see where this race goes.
I'm not so sure that he doesn't know that Earnhardt's having a little bit of trouble. That right front, don't let him ease along. Make Dale run his car harder, and in turn he might have the same problem.
You see Mark Martin, well, we're back in the field there, but I tell you, the 28 is loose right now. He's falling back in the field a little bit. He had said he was pushing a little bit, and they may have went too far with the car and made it a little bit loose.
Davey just ahead of Dale Jarrett now, and Harry Gant back behind Rick Maz. Mark Martin has moved up to second spot.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It looked like Mark's kind of dialed in now, and he's coming up through there. He looks like he's ready to take over the lead, or at least fight Earnhardt. You know, it may be a little strategy there. Just like Neil said, he may come up there and wrestle with that 3-car a little bit, hoping that Dale will keep running harder in the corner. You have to do your chess game, you know.
You mean he'd go up and tug on Superman's cape?
They better not penalize him, I tell you what.
Rusty now closing back in on Mark Martin. Mark's car has worked very well coming off of restarts.
Yeah, let me tell you, we talked about Darrell Walker being the type guy that would lay back. Mark is kind of like that. Mark will run hard if the car's right. If it's not, he's going to just keep it in contention and try to be there at the end.
7th place, Kenny Schrader, last car on the lead lap. Just ahead of Ted Musgrave. Or let's check that. Harry Gant is showing, Harry is a lap down. Got off the lead lap there in that last exchange.
I tell you, that's very important to stay in that lead lap. He's got as big a chance of winning this race if he makes the right adjustments on the last stop as anybody.
Also 1 lap down, the Waltrip brothers fighting for 8th place, 7th place rather. Make that 8th. Mike in 8th, Darrell in 9th. And Morgan Shepherd, who has just not been able to get back on the lead lap. He's now 2 down in the Sitco Ford.
I see Michael's car push out there, and here comes Darrell up under him.
And Mike trying to get back down. Not the place to try to make that cut. Morgan Shepherd comes up and under, though that is not for position. We are 2/3 distance in the Budweiser 500. 167 laps to go. Davey Allison and Dale Jarrett trying to close in. That's 4th place. Up front, Mark Martin has caught Dale Earnhardt. And you're riding with the 2nd place car.
Boy, it makes a good run in the middle of the corner, buddy.
Absolutely. Those Fords have a lot of torque. They don't run on RPM like Chevrolet does. And when they have that torque pulling in the center of the corner, you'll see him close up right here. It looks like that Earnhardt's waiting on him there.
At the other end of the racetrack where Mark's really been good is he goes off in here, he's been able to pull right up there and then run from the middle of the corner out on him. Right here, he's been able to really close in. There he goes. He's going to take a look to the inside.
Wow. You don't even have to watch the race, hardly. We can just watch the people in the stands. Anytime Earnhardt's in any kind of battle there, the whole grandstand stands up.
What a great ride you're getting from Mark Martin's car. Earnhardt right back at him. Nope. Ford to the front.
He'll make him a little loose up off his corner and check his heart rate out for him.
Yep. Earnhardt's going to give him a little reality check there, up and under. Take the air off the spoiler. Martin's got that thing glued down pretty well.
What people don't understand about this type, see, there's like Buddy talking about loosening up. You get up there, you don't have to touch the guy. You just get up there and make the car unstable for him. Now, Rusty says, hey, they're having too much fun. Let me get in the middle of this deal.
See, what happens in the draft, the lead car pushes the air, and it goes up and over. And if you're there by yourself, that air will flow down off the back window. It'll flow over the spoiler and nail down the back end. But with Earnhardt there, that air that goes over the roof of Mark's car just keeps on going over the roof of Dale's car, and it doesn't push down on the back spoiler nearly as hard.
I bet Mark saying, do I want to lead this thing as bad as early?
Dale says, no, you don't.
There's the answer.
Rusty made the squeeze there.
I was really wondering if Mark knew Rusty was there because, you know, it was him and Dale, him and Dale, him and Dale. Boy, Mark was really on his toes to see if the 2-car also came in on the same shot.
And Darrell Waltrip moving right up. He is a lap down. And we have a caution. At Dover Downs, we do not have a tunnel for access to the infield. Apparently somebody has been injured, and so the caution will come out so that the ambulance can cross the racetrack here at the start-finish line. And it's the ambulance coming over from the spectator area on the infield backstretch side. So apparently whatever the problem is, it does not involve anyone involved in the competition here. So ambulance caution, which is not too out of the ordinary here at Dover Downs. It's the 11th one of the day.
Pace car's probably really going to slow them down here because they're going to have to open the gate across the track.
We'll take this break from Dover Downs and be right back with more of the Budweiser 500.
The laboratories of 2001 announce a major breakthrough in auto protectant technology, Formula 2001 Super Protectant. Its advanced SunStop formula helps protect against the sun's UV rays, extreme temperatures, and moisture, which cause fading, drying, and cracking. What's more, independent lab tests prove Formula 2001 provides a more brilliant, longer-lasting shine than Armor All on vinyl and leather. But what if your car's surfaces are already faded? We went to the Arizona desert to put Formula 2001 Super Protectant to the ultimate test. Watch what happens to UV faded vinyl, rubber, even dried faded leather. Get the new standard in automotive protectant technology, the one with 50% more active shining ingredients than Armor All. Formula 2001 Super Protectant with a fresh leather fragrance. And for the unique demands of tire care, get new Formula 2001 Tire Foam and Shine. Just spray and walk away. Get 2001 at these fine stores.
The best defense is not to offend. Thus, introducing the new Right Guard Sports Stick. Now with a time-release formula for longer-lasting protection against hostile odor all day. For protection that endures.
You say your eyes are red, irritated, dry? Don't hide them. Help them with Clear Eyes. It gets rid of the redness and has an extra moisturizing ingredient, too. Clear Eyes. And for allergies and colds, Clear Eyes ACR.
To celebrate Buick's 90th anniversary, we proudly introduce the 90th anniversary LeSabre. LeSabre has a proven reputation for quality and the highest pre-sale value in its class. Now you get all this Buick quality, comfort, and elegance at a special anniversary price. The 90th anniversary Buick LeSabre. Quality its competition just can't hold a candle to.
TNN Motorsports exclusive live coverage of the Budweiser 500 is being brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealer. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. Pit stops are the order of the day here at Dover Downs. Rusty Wallace taking a long time to get that car completely full of gas and make a chassis change. Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac, and you see the scars on the left rear of that car. Gotten a little bit involved in it here. A couple of wheel marks down the left sides. These cars look like they've been to Martinsville, buddy.
I don't think it. Maybe 2 cars out there do not have any damage, but I didn't see that happen to Rusty.
Is that counting the pace car?
Well, Elmo's got a little scratch on the right front, I think.
Rusty was in the pits for 31.2 seconds.
I think the bulk of that, though, they're good with that stop. I think a lot of that was chassis adjustments. They kept making changes on the car.
Now the car is a lap or more down coming in. Under this caution period, the 11th of the day.
On that caution, Mike, that ambulance actually went down to the infield hospital, but they still had to shut the racing surface down because the only entrance to the hospital was down pit road. So they had to take that ambulance out on pit road, take it down to the infield hospital.
Rick Mast becomes the 12th different leader of this race. Rick Mast, Dale Earnhardt, Mark Martin, Davey Allison, and Dale Jarrett are the top 5. We'll try to check down in Rusty Wallace's pit and find out the reason for that lengthy stop. He was in for 31 seconds and falls from the lead to pretty much the tail end of the lead lap when they'll get ready to go back to green here.
One thing that caution flag did, we heard the Andy Petrie a while ago, they plan ahead how many gas stops they got left. They knew it was going to take another stop. This eliminates that one more stop and then go the rest of the way.
156 laps left to run here at Dover Down, so that will certainly be one more pit stop. As we're under caution for a bit here, we'll take this break and be back to the Budweiser 500.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Inside the rechargeable mulchinator from Ryobi lies a beast.
It looks like Buckley's taking the lead on the first turn.
24 volts of cordless power to cut, mulch, and fertilize your lawn quietly. Without pit stops for gas, oil, or clippings. The battery-powered mulchinator from Ryobi. It could just be the mower of your dreams.
Son of a gun protectant. Nothing works better on your car's leather, vinyl, and rubber. It can turn just about anything into a great-looking car.
Nice car. What, this pile of junk?
Give it the gun with Son of a Gun. And now give your tires a quick kick with one-step tire care.
Introducing KFC hickory flavored wings. Tender fried wing pieces brushed with a hickory mesquite flavored sauce. Just $1.99 for regular, $5.99 for large. It's a taste enjoyed by great outdoorsmen and not so great. And be sure to take home some KFC hickory wings to watch George Foreman battle Tommy Morrison. Coming soon to pay-per-view. Check your local listings and enjoy the fight with a great snack. New KFC hickory wings.
Give me those hickory wings, Tommy.
They're mine.
Says who? Chicken right.
All-Pro quarterback Dan Marino.
When the game is over and the pain starts, I want two things for my pain-relieving rub: fast relief and no odor. So I use Sports Cream, a strong pain-relieving rub that doesn't make me smell like a medicine chest. I just massage in Sports Cream for fast, odor-free relief. Cream or lotion, Sports Cream sure gets my vote for fast relief and no odor.
TNN viewers have come to know Race Day as their same-day source for motorsports highlights and news. This is Pat Patterson. Be sure to join us tonight at 8:30 when we'll have highlights of many of the day's big events. Don't wait for tomorrow's paper to find out what happened today. Watch Race Day tonight right here on the Nashville Network.
Race Day, second edition, 8:30 p.m. Eastern today on TNN Motorsports.
We've just gone back to green with Dale Earnhardt leading, Mark Martin, Dale Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, and Rick Mann. Wallace had a lengthy pit stop, 31.5 seconds. Davey Allison is further back. He had to come back into the pits. They feared they did not get all the lug nuts tight on the right side of his car, so they came back in, and he went to the tail end of the lead lap. Kenny Schrader has become the fifth place car. Here is Mark Martin. Darrell Waltrip had gotten a lap back from Earnhardt, and he and Schrader get real close.
Wow, I tell you what, that car, that sixth car, Mark Martin is awesome off the corner. It really is.
Make that Waltrip and Mark Martin, who got quite close as Martin pulls up on Dale Earnhardt.
You know, Mark was able to drive up there a while ago and go right on around him.
Rusty Wallace in fourth, Ken Schrader right with him in fifth. The third place car on the left of your screen is Dale Jarrett.
One lap down, he's running in ninth place, but it's going to be hard to get around someone like that because he doesn't want to give up that inside lane either. There's Rusty going to turn it down under him up off of that corner.
Ryan's got a lot of motor at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah, he slid out just a little bit down there. We'll give Rusty get his. Oh man! Boy, they got together coming off that corner. Rusty, you can see Rusty trying to turn a little more and a little more. Saw the 15 coming, he just couldn't move over far enough.
That was a good catch there by Bodine. I tell you, when you hit when you get hit off that corner like that, you don't normally save it.
Yeah, when you're coming off that corner, you could actually reach over your hands and reach and touch that car and turn it around. It doesn't take much pressure to knock the back end out from one of these things.
Yeah, the monster just got a taste that time. Just a nibble. 147 laps to run, average speed. Moving up on the pace of the slowest ever race here. 100 miles an hour. 11 caution flags so far. Martin has not been able to gain on Earnhardt like he did the last restart.
No, but they were a little bit into the run. You know, Dale's car runs good right on the start. Martin was able to come on a little bit later. Let's see if that plays out again. I'm sure both of these guys might have made some changes to the car. We'll just have to see how it plays out. There's Mark Earnhardt's going around the slow car. Mark got right up there. I thought he was going to have a chance to get up beside him in the corner.
And we're going to caution.
Might have getting a black flag here.
Piece of debris, a bumper cover up on the speedway. And it's from the back of Bobby Labonte's car. Car is doing a stripping act as it goes around the speedway. There's not many pieces left on it.
They got him black flag now to come in, the 22.
I don't know if he got touched or if it just came off.
Oh, he got in the wall there.
Ooh, I tell you, in the wall.
He bounced off the wall coming off turn 2.
Knocked it off.
I think it made it around off to turn 4 before it fell off, but he ripped it off on the back straightaway. Ooh, wait a second here.
Not real happy there, I don't think.
They're bumping on Jimmy Means. They must have had a little bit of contact.
Bobby's been black flagged. Go and check that car on pit road. 12th caution flag of the day for Bobby Labonte. Up in turn 1. We'll be right back.
Nice to have you over here in the States.
The incredible thing is the different concept on ovals, isn't it?
Some people just can't get it right.
4 champions sharing a winning formula. Haviland Formula 3.
You got to stay flat out.
Sounds rather appealing.
Well, it is if you win.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf.
I'm wide open all the time. The only way to do it.
Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Why do you go anti-clockwise?
You're in a foreign country, boy.
The other day I get in my car, won't start. No small problem, right? Well, I figure it's the battery, so I go down to the AutoZone and I tell them what I need. The guy says to me, let's check your old one first. It might not be the problem. Turns out he was right. All I needed was a new battery cable. Talk about saving money. Now you tell me, would another parts store done that? They made sure I got exactly what I needed. Now I'll remember that. Believe me, I will.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
Tire foam protectant from Armor All. One spray, and even old tires look great. Kind of makes you wish we made car foam. Tire foam from Armor All.
Well, it seems that Miles the Monster has taken a bite out of Delaware Bay. There's the SS John B. Mullen, beached.
You know, Mike, while we were over here this week, I believe all of our camera guys were out on the boats. We have every boat in Delaware on the show today.
I think so. Well, it's like a day at the beach here in the grandstand, except it's very breezy and it's somewhat cool. Those flags along pit road have been straight out all day long. About an 18 to 20 mile an hour breeze at the top of the grandstand where those fellows man those cameras, and they're not using much suntan lotion today. It's more like windburn.
The 15 car of Jeff Bodine's got an oil leak, and it's smoking enough to see. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't check him out here pretty quick.
Bobby Hamilton making a pit stop, going back out. He's had a pretty good day today.
Yeah, buddy, you can see the smoke rolling out the back bumper on this thing. He was down pit road on this caution. They raised the hood and looked at it, but it's smoking pretty bad now.
Looking for green this time. Darrell Waltrip in the Western Auto Chevy will again try to get back on the lead lap from Dale Earnhardt.
They just called us as this thing restarted, said it was a power steering blinking on the 15. He's coming down pit road when it restarted.
A lot of smoke as Bodine comes down pit road in the 9th place car. In the pits, as is Kyle Petty. Riding with Mark Martin.
Did you see that shot? The 3 car was leaving black marks around the corner there. I'm telling you, those cars are getting a bite on that racetrack.
See Mark, he's taking a few more bites out of the steering wheel now than he was earlier in this race.
As the day goes on, the track gets a little bit slickier. There he goes, holding his hand up. He motioned to Walter. Thanks for letting me turn down in. Darrell had him outside. Let Mark take that inside lane, and Mark just said, man, I appreciate that. Let's ride. You remember those days. If a guy treats you right, you'll pay him back. If he treats you bad, you'll pay him back.
Yeah. That's true in any kind of racing.
I got to tell this story while we were watching these guys race. I was out in Riverside one time, and I run in the back of Frank Warren, and he was about 2 laps down. And he got mad at me, run me down past me, and shook his fist at me and slowed back up so I'd know who it was.
That is the speed shot at the old speed racetrack. I'm telling you, they're rolling here.
And Kyle Petty back out after a stay in the pit. Jeff Bodine's car is still on pit road.
You know, as many cars we have wrecked, I can't think they keep lowering the required speed limit to stay on the track. Got so many cars damaged, there's a lot of them riding around slow.
Now behind Mark Martin in second, Rusty Wallace is third after that long pit stop during the previous caution play.
As you can see, Mark Martin is closing in on Dale Earnhardt now.
Dale Jarrett, 4th place car, closing in on Wallace. With that aching wrist, the fracture has healed, but the rest of the damage?
Well, it makes you wonder whether he made a chassis change there, too, on that last stop. So did it hurt it or help it?
Rusty had that long pit stop under the previous caution. Let's check with Randy.
Well, it was 31-second, guys. It was a better safe than sorry situation. They tend to drop this jack on the right-hand side and just the right-hand side guys get one lug nut on the new tires. Well, they didn't quite have the one on the right front, so when they bolted them all up, they thought possibly they might have left one loose, and they don't want to take Rusty out on the track with one loose, and it could possibly cause some damage and cause a vibration. So after they got done with the left, they came back around, fixed the rights, and therefore a 31-second stop. But better safe than sorry.
Like while we're talking about Rusty Wallace, let's not mislead people. When he had that wrist done, he had that external brace on, but he still got all that metal work in his wrist.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, when are you going to take that out? And he said the doctor said he could wait till after the season's over. Even though the external stuff's gone, he's still got all that hinge work and all the metal internally. That'll be taken out after the season's over. Boy, he ran right up behind Morgan Shepherd coming off the corner there.
Shepherd 2 laps down as you watch your Napa Field standing update as of 360 laps.
There he goes. He's getting up under Morgan Shepherd. Morgan's cars ran good all day. He just got behind early. Been fighting along with it.
And Dale Jarrett got a real good run at Rusty that time and was able to follow in the door that he opened.
Speaking of follow,
with him.
Yes, sir. Same door, same hurry.
Same hurry. Davey Allison running in step.
Don't dare let the door close. Let me in there.
See Davey jumping right on in there. We're fixing to have a shootout here between these guys.
Up front, Mark Martin is once again on the tail of Dale Earnhardt.
I wonder if he remembers what Earnhardt done to him a while ago, taking the air off the spoiler. I'd be right up under him. I'd make him want to see whether he wanted to leave or not.
The problem with doing that at Earnhardt, you got to get way down in the corner to get behind him.
Yeah.
Mark's car seems to get better as they go along. We've seen him all day. Longer runs, it seems like the better his car gets.
Moving around Bobby Labonte. Oh no, that's Dick Trickle. Can't tell. There's no sheet metal on the back of either of them. Jack Roush, former champion drag racer. He's won in IMSA, he's won in NASCAR, he's won on the drag strips.
Great
he
hat.
owns this car.
Great hat, always.
Always has a great hat. Yep. And strong motors and a good chassis and a good race team. 371 laps complete. There's your top 5 as we go to break. We'll be right back to Dover Downs.
Hey, don't miss our awards night special edition of Crook and Chase.
We'll take you live backstage to meet the stars and talk to the winners of the TNN Music City News Country Awards.
Monday on TNN.
Sit in on this historic recording session. Celebrate the roots of American music with country's living legends. The making of Will the Circle Be Unbroken? On TNN, the Nashville Network, Monday night.
This is where America gets together. Every weekend throughout America, there is great NASCAR racing.
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Dale Earnhardt leads the about 500 over Mark Martin as Mike Waltrip's car is pushed toward the garage. He had been running right at the top 10, but is now out of the race.
It's a long way to run, fall out here at the end.
Well, that and Ernie Irvin's were the least dented cars to go to the garage today.
Yeah, and he had a good strong run going too. That's a shame.
There's your lead duo, Earnhardt and Mark Martin.
Just a couple of laps ago, I was watching this run right here, and a big flame came out the 6 cars. You went down in the corner, and that usually means a cracked header. You know, as you back out of the gas, it makes it ignite up in the headers itself instead of the engine. And they just called us those. He did have a set of cracked headers on that thing. It shouldn't hamper the performance so much at all.
No, but it'll make him think everything in the world's going on. It'll backfire real loud, like when you start in the corner, and every time it does that, you try to hold that steering wheel a little bit tighter.
Yeah, it sounds like a cannon going off when it explodes in them header systems.
What happens is when that header cracks, the escaping hot exhaust gas, when you back out, has more gasoline in it than air. And with the crack, you're getting some more air in from the outside, and it explodes. It detonates like it does in a cylinder, only it does it out in the exhaust header. Sounds like a big explosion.
Yeah, these things have 4-inch tailpipes on them, 2 of them coming out by the car, hold quite a bit of fumes. When you ignite it, it's a pretty good explosion. And these exhausts run about 1,800 degrees coming out of these cars.
Plus, that driver's getting a good smell of that every time it happens, too. And, you know, fumes here can really get to you. You're down inside a bowl almost, and it'll get on the driver.
Let's watch him go down the corner. See that thing, a little feather out there?
Good eyes.
A little bit of flame popping out of that thing on the left rear back there. I tell you what, he's got a smell of that big flame right there. He's got a smell of that 3 car. He says, man, I got him in my sights right now. He's plugging away after him.
120 laps to go here at Dover Downs. 12 leaders have swapped the lead back and forth 23 times. 12 caution flags for 66 laps. Only 10 cars out of this race, but a bunch of them battered. 7 on the lead lap. Earnhardt, Martin, Wallace, Jarrett, Allison, Schrader, and Mast.
I just watching as they came up the straightaway. There was 2 cars looked pretty good. About 8 of them wrecked. After the race went in, inspect these things. They're going to need a tetanus shot for all the inspectors. All the ragged metal everywhere.
5th and 6th place here.
Well, Schrader's putting on a run at Davey Allison. Couldn't touch him a while ago. He's about 3/4 of a lap down, but he's right back in the middle of everything. And you see Allison's car wiggling there. It's real loose.
That doesn't like close company, that car. Not today.
Now, when it gets in that under those conditions loose, the guy behind you puts some heat on. You know, we explained a while ago about how the air flows over, but it's kind of twofold, Mike. It's like a car, that second car, that 25, like pushing a snowplow in front of it. And it shoves that air as he runs up behind the 28, just like shoving material up under the rear bumper, and it lifts the wheels up. So, I mean, you just drive up there, slide him over a little bit, go right on around. Davey's going to crank it back down the inside.
They are 6.5 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah, Davey's happy that move happened right there. I guarantee you, until he can adjust on that car. He didn't need anybody right up under him.
I don't care how gutsy you are or whatever. If you drive down in the corner and the car is loose, it's eventually going to wreck. You can't go but just so far, because loose means the rear wheels come off the ground. When those rear wheels come off the ground or slip, King Kong can't make it go around that racetrack.
Speaking
Back
of
up
King
front.
Kong.
Yeah. Dale Earnhardt ahead of Mark Martin with 115 laps to go and one more pit stop at least to come. Earnhardt has won twice here at Dover. He won both races in '89 by a total of 0.8 of a second. There's Earnhardt riding the high line off the corner en route to victory. A youthful Dale Earnhardt in his sportsman car long before greatness. And shown here, the torn up Tim Richmond's car as they battled in '85.
Boom! Last Action Hero. What do you think of anyone who doesn't see this movie?
Big mistake.
I love this place! I think it's the biggest movie of the summer. And now when you go to Burger King and order a flame-broiled Whopper with large fries and a medium drink, you get this Last Action Hero animated action cup free. Like him, you can be large and in charge. So see the movie and collect all 4 cups. It's your way right away. I love this place, and I'm going to see the movie.
You may not have given side impact collisions much consideration, but Buick has. You may not know that by the year 1997, all cars will be required to meet the U.S. government's side impact safety standard, or that the Buick Regal sedan meets this standard today, 4 years in advance. But it is important information, and we think it's definitely food for thought.
Remember those old dirt tracks, AJ? The dirt would just eat up the engines.
2 champions sharing a winning formula. Haviland Formula 3.
My favorite win was going to be in '69. I had to give it to you. You shouldn't have even made a half a lap.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf. Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Heck, I still feel if I can't win, I don't want nobody to win. I'll try to remember that, AJ. Do that.
Oil. It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Budweiser 500 is being brought to you by Allied Signals Fram Filter. You can pay a little now or a lot later. Welcome back to Dover Downs. Here's your top 10. Earnhardt, Martin, Wallace, Jarrett, and Schrader, the top 5. They, along with Davey Allison and Rick Master, on the lead lap. Waltrip, Wilson, and Gant among those 1 lap down. Dale Earnhardt has opened up a 2-second lead on Mark Martin. What a difference a season makes. Jeff Gordon last year ran here 200 miles in a race. This is 500 miles. As you're on board with Gordon, who spent some time in the garage.
Wow, he's wearing that headrest out. Look at that helmet against there. Look at it flex. And he got his shoulder propped up there on a deal. And I see his water, where he gets his water, the plastic tube under his right elbow. He don't even have that over his arm. He don't need the extra weight.
I tell you what, tough on him, buddy. The car's been wrecked pretty bad. You know yourself how much harder it is to drive. But at the first of this race, that helmet was not even touching that headrest. When one of these things are ill driving, it'll put you to working.
Well, you know yourself, when you're racing for the lead, it's not nearly as hard as when you're just surviving like he is right now. That'll wear you down.
At 4th place, Dale Jarrett and Ken Schrader.
Now, Schrader's come marching up through here pretty good. He was well back in the field, but they've got that thing of his coming to the front. And Schrader's also one of the kind of guys that laps are not going to fatigue him. He runs all types of races. He'll run 5 nights a week if they'll let him. And He's in plenty good enough shape. At the end of one of these races, it doesn't bother him.
No,
yeah, if there was a race tonight, he'd be in it.
He will be somewhere racing tonight, I'll guarantee you.
Either that or you race you to the airport. I'm not sure which, but he's wanting to race all the time.
Do that. He won here in 1991. Likes the real physical kinds of racetracks. Likes any racetrack.
They just called us and told us, buddy, that Jared and Schrader are going to Wisconsin to race tomorrow night, I think. One night they're headed up there to race. So they'll find them a place to race when they're not racing.
Don't surprise me none. He's got one kind of every type of race car in the world. Dirt car, short track car, you name it.
Isn't that the Slinger Nationals? We were up there this weekend last year. We raced at Elkhart Lake, and then we're going to go over to Slinger, but had to get off somewhere else.
No, this is Slinger National right here.
We were watching Jeff Gordon, and we've got in cars in he and Mark Martin's car. Is Rick Mast going to get under Davey Allison here?
Davey just called while ago on the radio and said it's the worst set of tires he's had all day. The worst handling deal I've had all day long. It's just got him where he can't do anything with it. He's falling back. And that'll happen. You'll go through the course of the day and put them on, put them on, put them on. All of a sudden you'll get something that's just not doing what you want to do.
Now let's clarify. It doesn't mean the tires themselves are bad. It just means they're not matched up to what the car wants. It's a bad set of tires for the way the car wants to work right now.
Yep. He said he was good to stop before, and this time he's off.
It's like Jared and Schrader don't have to go race here. You know, they're racing together. They're leaving here together. It don't mean a thing now. The chips are down. They're going to start racing each other.
Just 100 laps to go.
Just.
We're winding her down.
Remember that 100 lap heat race we had the first part of the day?
The 25 car looked like Mike Joy did down there at Rockingham when he's in driving school down there. Oh, very smooth.
Low and slow?
No.
Yeah, we had one of the call-ins. Mike asked if you do any racing. What I need is a picture you set on that tire wall a few weeks ago.
I got video. We got video of that. Maybe next week at Myrtle Beach, next Saturday afternoon, when we're down there to do the Busch race, I'll bring it, let you see it. I got a little behind in my steering up there.
I like your comment. You run out of talent.
Well, that'll happen. Happens to every good race driver once in a while.
Rick Wilson coming down pit road, same deal, right in that oil dry.
One tire down on that car. This is not a scheduled stop, we're told.
When this race started up behind pit road, there's a big grassy field. It looked like the Goodyear tire factory, and now it's where everybody's laying down resting. There's no tires left. They've been through a bunch of them today.
Some of the teams mounted as many as 10 sets of tires for this race.
I think Rick can go the rest of the way after this stop. It'll be very close.
97 laps left in this race. 20.5 second stop for Rick Wilson.
You know, we heard a while ago Andy Beecher say that when it was 180 to go, he said that would just be right borderline. 90 and 90 is what they shoot at. So if they can get about 7 more laps in, it'll be pretty safe for the rest of the leaders. They're not going to come in. They're going to stretch it as long as they can before they come in. Should give them about 50 to go after this last stop if they have a record green run here.
Schrader right up on Dale Jarrett now. Both those cars with Rick Hendrick engines. Hendrick Motorsports engines.
They just reported to us that Mark Martin has been through 7 sets of tires already. That is a ton. Now, I'm glad I'm not paying that tire bill.
Well, they're just $1,200 set, buddy.
Well, I know. I was there. I was there when they had 2 tire companies and you had to mount up as many. The other, you know, the Hoosier and Goodyear, you had to have the exact amount. I remember putting 20 of each on the hill over here.
Let's check with Randy Pepper.
Well, Ken, you've had a good run. That didn't help you, though, flat tire.
Nah, that's the second one we've had today. We're running pretty good, but not good enough to make any laps up. So he's still digging along. Everything's looking good so far.
I'll tell you, this team is coming along, guys.
Rick Wilson now 3 laps down after the result of that stop. But he would get one of those back if the rest of the leaders have to stop under green.
Boy, Schrader finally got a good run off the corner. There he goes. He got the run up off the corner. He's worked on this for 15 or 20 laps.
2 very even race cars right there.
Yeah, here comes a 15 car behind him. We saw it smoking tremendously going down pit road. They said power steering. They possibly cut the power steering belt off of it. It'd make it quit smoking, but it'd make it mean driving.
Yeah, Jeff Bodine is now 10 laps down in 18th position. 92 laps to go. Earnhardt leading Martin, Wallace, Jarrett, and Schrader, the top 5. Here's the rest of your top 10, and we'll be back to Dover Downs after this.
If you're looking into faucets, Peerless means plenty. America's leading do-it-yourself faucet. In hundreds of styles and finishes. All made with solid brass valve construction. And all warranty for as long as you own your home. The best made, best back, do-it-yourself faucets in America. That's what Peerless means.
Over the years, I've made a lot of trips back and forth to Vegas.
So how's it going this trip, George?
The odometer was broken for over 50,000 miles, so I say we've got 300,000 miles on this car.
Hi, George.
This beauty's a living example of what can be done with proper maintenance and AC Delco.
Hi, George.
AC Delco parts. It's like buying time. Now through July 5th, save up to $11.60 on AC spark plugs and filters.
Son of a gun protectant. Nothing works better on your car's leather, vinyl, and rubber. It can turn just about anything into a great-looking car.
Nice car.
What, this pile of junk?
Give it the gun with Son of a Gun. And now give your tires a quick kick with one-step tire care.
A bunch of easy riders. Up toward the front, there's Kyle Petty in that very inconspicuous looking paint job. Rode here from Charlotte. They're going to ride up, Eddie Gossage told me to tell me tonight, to the Plaza Hotel in New York, pull up to valet parking, hop off, and toss the guy the keys.
Do you think he'll ever see it again?
I don't know. And there's Kyle doing a bit of easy riding today after he was involved in one of those wrecks. And we talked about the time he spent behind the wall, but he came back out, and he's right now the 29th place car and stands to gain at least one more position if he's able to run to the finish.
Unless they have some more wrecks, and he could even gain more.
Well, perhaps so. Earnhardt the leader. Mark Martin back in second.
Bill Elliott coming down pit road.
Mentioned Bobby Hamilton a bit ago. He's up to 14th spot. A good run for Jim Sutton's team, a brand new team. They're in 14th place. They're 4 laps off the pace. But for a new team, having a real good run here.
I was looking at that motorcycle, Kyle Petty's. He's got more paint on that thing than I got on my house.
A lot more colors.
Yeah.
You know, some reason I walked up in the garage and I saw.
Uh-oh, we got a spin. There goes Walter up in the third. Oh, man, he hit hard.
Hit the driver's side really hard. Couldn't tell, but did you see what brought it? But he happened right down the corner.
I've seen it, but I want to see it on replay again. I don't want to say anything until I see it.
13th caution of the day. And Darrell Waltrip was running in the 8th position, 1 lap down.
Oh, he's moving around. That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's really a good sign. But let me tell you, when you slap that driver's side against this wall, you can get your head out that window and get into the wall if you're not careful.
Neil, a long time ago, we had metal nets up on that left side, and they've gone to this nylon that Bill Simpson everybody makes now. And I tell you what, that saved a lot of drivers, because I guarantee you his head would have smacked that wall if he hadn't had that inside the car.
No way to explain to anyone you buckle down that car, but it'll stretch out that window if something doesn't restrain it.
Pit road is closed, and had a call on our 800 line. The reason we do that, we'll get to that in a second. Let's show the replay.
That's after the fact there. I don't know.
He's already sideways sliding up the track, so I can get that driver's door right into the track, into the wall.
Car owner's not going to be too happy.
No, driver's probably pretty upset.
One thing you can always do, though, you know, you always say that car is torn up. We can build another car. There's just one Darrell Waltrip, and I'm glad to see him moving around right now.
Boy, some of these guys really be glad to see this caution flag. You hate to see someone have a problem, but
he's
Walter
not happy
walking out on
with
pit road.
somebody. I'm gonna try to.
Battery's walking up the track looking for pieces.
No, I don't think so.
I think he's kind of concerned with the drivers.
Earnhardt leads the charge onto pit road among the cars that are on the lead lap. Mark Martin. These should all be 4-tire changes, and here on this what should be the last pit stop of the day, track position will be very crucial.